I don't know why I ever stopped recording, but okay. I just washed my face. I'm gonna prep my skin. I'll prep my skin with this today. This for my eyes, and just don't mind where I store my lashes. I'm not quite sure what my day will consist of today, but I'm just make sure I look good. Applying some Dior lip glow on my lips, so that way when it's time for me to put my lipstick or whatever, my lips are nice and hydrated. I'm gonna prime my face first. My primer, 2 pumps of this, and I'll apply all over. This primer has a very nice cooling sensation, and I'm completely in love with this. I really like to use this, especially for my eyebrows, because it helps just keep my eyebrows just like flat, and it allows me to create a nice thick base. I really like my face to absorb all of my skincare, and I like it to absorb the primer that I'm using, so that by the time it's time for me to apply my foundation, my skin is well prepped and well primed. So I feel like it just helps my makeup last a lot longer, rather than if I were just to prime and then apply my foundation right away. It works for me. It may work for you. Try it. I'm gonna do my eyebrows. I like to just comb them out first, and then I begin to fill in with the Urban Decay Brow Blade, the pencil first, and I'll shortly show you guys how I use the other end of this pen. Whenever I do my makeup, I kind of just like go all over the place when it comes to doing my makeup. I don't know, this is just how I work, or how my mind works. So the majority of my eyebrows, I filled it in with the pencil. I'm gonna highlight underneath my brow bone to really clean it up, make my eyebrows look real crispy. So I'm using Givenchy concealer in the shade 20 to really create a nice highlight and clean up my brows. Moving on to my eyelids, I'm gonna be using Hourglass eye primer. I don't like to use concealer as a primer because concealer just makes my makeup glide too much on my eyelids, because my eyelids get way too oily for that. So this primer works really well for me because it gives you like a satin matte finish, and it just really keeps the hold of whatever you put on your eyelids. For my eyeshadow, I do something super basic, super simple. I use like 3 colors in this palette, and I'm grabbing a blending brush, like a fluffy blending brush like this, and I'm taking blunt first. So I'm literally gonna use this one, and this one right here. I just really like to emphasize the darkness around my circles. I'm just gonna go in, make it even darker, pack this color on my lid, mainly the crease on my eyelid. Just sweep it back and forth like this. People ask me all the time how I do my eyeshadow. It's really not that hard. Just grab a big ass fluffy brush, a brush that's gonna really fit your eyeballs, your eyelids, and apply a color that seems natural to you, and just blend it out. Taking that second color now, like the darker shade, I'm really gonna use this just right here in the outer corner, and kind of start winging it out. I do this so in that way my face looks more like snatched. You feel me? With my finger, I'm gonna apply that light shade right here and put that all over my lid. Now that I'm done with my eyeshadow, I'm gonna move on to the rest of my face. I'm gonna start off by doing my foundation right now. And the foundation that I'm gonna be using is this Wet n Wild foundation. For concealer, I like to use two different concealers. I use the Makeup Forever in the Matte Velvet Skin in the shade 3.5, and I use Milani. This is gonna be my highlighting concealer. I'm gonna apply this concealer, and I love to put it like this. Here and here. I also kind of like to let my concealer sit for a bit so that I could get a little dry, just because I really like the way that it blends out when it's semi-dry than when it's super wet, because I feel like I get a better and fuller coverage when I do this. So in the meantime, I'm gonna be finishing up my eyebrows. So this is just pencil alone, and I'm gonna take Gimme Brow and just comb through my eyebrows. This stuff is really good if you are a person like me who has a very thin eyebrows, and if you're going for like a thicker brow, this really helps make your eyebrows look a lot more voluminous, because Gimme Brow contains microfibers in their formula that attach onto your natural brow hair, which makes them look as if they were naturally thicker and fuller, and I cannot live without this brow product. I feel like I've let my concealer set a bit. I'm also gonna take some setting spray, and I'm using the Milk Hydro Mist. So I'm gonna spray my face first and then blend out my concealer. Take your fan. Let that mist simmer on your face, and now blend. So I like to bring this up to my nose, so then that way your nose also looks contoured, and it makes it appear a lot thinner. So without having to do so much and apply so much concealer, when I blend this out, it just highlights where it needs to be highlighted. This end, I bring out my concealer all the way up to my temples, just like that. When I'm blending out my concealer, I like to keep my beauty blender at an angle to clean up my eyeshadow, but I also like to keep it at an angle where as I blend it out, I kind of give myself this lift right here, so it just makes it look like, snatched. What I use next is this Milani highlight. Like, this is the lighter concealer, so as you can see, my under eyes have this circle right here, because they naturally just love to make an appearance. So right here, I'll apply this right here. So right below that first shade, I'm gonna mist my face one more time. Fan that out and blend. I'm gonna set my under eyes and the rest of my face. Before I set, I'm gonna make sure there's no creases underneath my eyes. I'm taking Anastasia's loose powder, my sponge, I'm just gonna dump it right in here and pick up the product like this, and then I just press the product in. I like to get most of this product right underneath my eyes, and I don't let it sit. Like, I don't like to apply the powder and just let it sit there. I like to press it in and move it around, because if I don't do this, my skin is so dry underneath my eyes that I find that it starts to crack and look really dry, and it just doesn't look good. Once I've applied it there, I move on to the bridge of my nose and my forehead as well. These are the areas that tend to get the most oily for me. So I like to put the powder on my smile lines. Whatever's left on my sponge, I'll just bring it out to the rest of my face. After I'm done doing this, I'm gonna go back into my lashes. I'm gonna curl my lashes, I'm gonna apply some falsies, and then we'll take it from there. I'm just gonna talk a little bit and just say how doing your makeup is very therapeutic. It's very therapeutic to me. This whole pandemic did take a toll on everybody, obviously, but it also took a huge toll in the makeup industry. I've come across a lot of women who have stopped doing their makeup. I stopped doing my makeup for a while, and I noticed the change it also made in my self-esteem. It made me feel less motivated to do anything. It made me feel like I just no tenía ganas de hacer nada, no tenía ganas de levantarme, ni verme en el espejo, ni hacerme el pelo. Like, I just lost all motivation, which is crazy, because who would ever think, oh, your makeup helps you do this? It motivates you to go about your day? Like, it's crazy, and it makes me appreciate the fact that I have a talent to do my makeup. If you're like me and you stop doing your makeup because the mask is annoying, our masks are ruining our makeup, you know what? Fuck it. I think it's time to take that mentality out, and I think it's time for every single bad bitch on this planet to get back in the game. Like, it's fucking time. It's time to stop fucking around and remind yourself who the fuck you are, because you are that bitch. Okay? I always curl and apply mascara before I pop on my lashes, because this helps my false lashes look a lot more curlier, and I really love that, because for my eyes, my lashes are already naturally straight, so as the mascara sets, they will begin to lose the curl I just fucking did with the eyelash curler. And by the time my lashes kind of fall straight, at least my strip lash is at a decent like curl and gives me the look that I truly desire. I kind of like to bounce back and forth from like my eyes to my complexion, because this helps me see like where else I need to touch up on my face. So now that my eyes are semi done, I can see where my face needs a little color to it. So I'm taking a Marc Jacobs bronzer. This is the bronzer in the shade Tantric, and I'm taking an angle brush like this, and I'm starting at my forehead. And the way that I apply this is applying downwards, so then that way all the excess powder falls on my forehead and and it makes it look a lot more natural as well. With this bronzer, I found that it allows me to build as much I guess bronzer I want, and it never gets super orange on me. And I feel like it's a really good bronzer that also works as like a contour color too. I start at my forehead because my forehead is what I really want to diminish here, because as you can see, it's pretty fucking big. Excuse me for swearing, but stop acting like you don't swear. I'm also going to apply my bronzer right at my cheekbones. My guide is the top of my ear and going downwards like this. Doing the same thing. I like to apply it at the top here and then brush inwards, so then all that excess powder just helps you create a more natural bronzer, contour, whatever. Now that I have this bronzer on, you're able to see a contrast between this highlight powder and the bronzer. So there is a weird fucking transition right here, and we gotta get rid of that. So I'm gonna apply this blush. This is in the shade Mauve Sunrise, and it's just a bare mineral blush. I'm gonna apply this on the apples of my cheeks so we can get rid of this line here that looks ridiculous. And I'm using a big old fluffy brush. So my skin is naturally like pinkish, reddish, like it gets this like red fucking tone sometimes. So when it comes to my blush, I kind of go a little overboard. I don't know why, but I just love how this looks. It looks so cute. I'm gonna apply a little bit of blush on my forehead too, just to bring back that color. Now I don't got that crazy looking line anymore. I am just going to fix like this right here, because I don't like how this shadow is creating this like a droopy look. I'm taking Laura Mercier in the honey shade, the loose powder, and smile, and then creating more of a round shape. If you got big cheeks like me, own them bitches. Before I apply my false lashes, I'm gonna mist and set my face one more time. And if you're wondering why I fucking mist my face a whole bunch of times, it's just that I find when I do this, it just really helps blend in my makeup. It helps blend in the powder products with what's underneath. And my skin is like dry to oily. So although my face was prepped, as I'm done doing my makeup, like if I'm like with all this powder and some products I'm using are kind of matte, it's gonna dry my face out a little bit. So with the Milk Hydro Mist, it helps provide some moisture as well. So I'm just trying to keep my face balanced here. I've applied my false lashes, I've applied a lip, Now that I've applied my lashes, since they're so dramatic, I had to balance out underneath, and I also had to balance out my eyebrows. So with the Urban Decay Brow Blade, the ink side, I'm gonna go in and just fill in a little bit more. This is what I use just to go into detail and create my hair-like strokes, so then that way my eyebrows can look a lot more thicker. What I'm gonna do to the bottom, so like my bottom lash line, is I'm gonna take the lighter color that I used for my crease and apply that right underneath there, because I just really want my eyes to balance out with my lashes. I don't really like the lighting right here. Okay, I'm also gonna use like a gold liner on my waterline. Just add a pop of highlight under there. This is by Marc Jacobs. Okay, why didn't I fix this light like this throughout the whole video? Because this looks way better. That is literally it for my makeup for today. If you have any questions and you know where to find me, hit me up. If you want any makeup advice, makeup consultations, ring my line as well. I'm always here to help. I'm always here to help in any kind of way, actually. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope any of the things that I shared with you today is helpful in any type of way, and I hope this motivates you to wake up, do your makeup, put your makeup on today. If you have ever thought of ever recording yourself doing makeup or YouTube or any of that, just fucking do it. If you needed a sign, this is your sign right now. Enjoy the rest of your fucking day today, and I'll see y'all next time.